Okay, friends. So we have talked about estimating, right? And some ways that you can estimate might be rounding or adding closer but easier numbers. So in this case here, with 44 plus 77, you might round the add-ins to the nearest 10, right? Thinking about 40 plus nearest 10 here is 80. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 tens, or 120 right there. Or maybe you're adding closer but easier numbers like 45 plus 75 right there, where it actually ends up as 120 again. Thinking about fives are typically pretty easy. These two fives made 10, right? And then we had 7 tens plus 4 more 10s, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 tens, and then our one more 10 for 12 tens, or 120 right there. So thinking about estimating can help determine whether our answer is reasonable. So when we think about actually adding 44 plus 77, finding the exact answer, we know our answer is going to be around 120. It's got kind of that ballpark estimate right there. Okay. So you might do some traditional algorithm addition. We think about 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 ones is the same thing as 1, 1 and 110, right? Where we've got 7, 11, 12 tens. 121, super close to our estimate, right? Or maybe some of you were thinking about breaking it up, right? I know many of you think about expanded form in order to break it up. Thinking about 77 is the same thing as 70 plus 7. 44 is the same thing as 40 plus 4. So 44 plus 77 is the same thing as 40 plus 70 plus 4 plus 7, right? In the same case, we end up with 11 ones here, and 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 tens for a total of 121. Okay? Something else you might think about, friends, is what's called the partial sums addition algorithm. And it's set up similarly to the traditional algorithm, where I set it up and down. Okay? What I typically like to do is draw a line to separate my place value columns. And I think about the first thing I'm going to do is count up, the value of that 4 is 40, the value of that 7 is 70. So I have 40 plus 70 to start with, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110. And then I can go ahead and add my ones up, where I have 4 plus 7 is 11. Okay, so I have 110 plus 11, and I add up those two partial sums then for a total of 121. Okay, we can even show this with place value blocks. Thinking about a long is worth 10, right? So I have 4 longs and 4 fours, 4 ones, 7 longs, 7 tens, and 7 ones. Right? So same thing. First thing we did was we added our 40 plus our 70 to equal 110. Right? 70, 80, 90, 100, 110. And then we added our 4 ones and our 7 ones here. That equaled our 11. Added those two up for a total of 121. So we might think about that then, friends, as we work on strategies for 58 plus 96. Okay, I wanted to try that partial sums addition here. We've got 58 plus 96. I'm going to draw those place value blocks to the side, where I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 50, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and then 8. 96, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, right? And so that's a visual way to think about these numbers right over here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add my 50 and my 90 together. So I have 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140. And then I've got my 8 plus my 6, right? So I have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'm going to add up those two partial sums. And I've got my answer that way. So think about using partial sums as you continue to solve addition problems.